Hello, tea sippers. Today we're going to talk about the dark side of the Wizard of Oz. I came across this and I thought it would be fun for us to talk about it because it's one of my favorite movies, especially around the holidays or if I don't have anything else really to watch. I love me a good Wizard of Oz movie. But before we get into it, you know what to do. Thumbs up the video, subscribe if you have not already, cut on your notifications so you'll be notified when we drop a new video. Okay, so yes, I've heard things over the years about this movie. It took a lot of production, it's very easy on the eyes, very entertaining. But yes, some things went on behind the scenes that were not really the best. So, we're going to talk about the first thing. Judy Garland was harassed and treated poorly. Yes, The Wizard of Oz was both the beginning and the end of Judy Garland's career. That is true because I don't really remember her in any other big production movies. Actors in the 1930s were under contract to whatever studio they signed with, and many of them were systemically mistreated and overworked. Teenage actors were often given adrenaline shots to keep them awake. Okay, so they were giving them chemicals to help them not go to sleep so they can work long hours, and they were giving them pills to help them go to sleep. So you can understand that their bodies was running all over the place. Even though Garland was already taking some type of pills, that was not good for her to continue to have to take these different ups and downers to do Judy Garland, she was Dorothy. Yeah, so having to constantly take those pills was not good for her. Let's talk about one of my favorite characters of the movie, which was the Wicked Witch. Whew. You guys listen to this and what happened to this actress, okay? During a take of the scene in which the Wicked Witch escapes Munchkinland in a big, huge puff of smoke, the pyrotechnics, which is like the fire itself, were accidentally set off too early. So she was supposed to go down through this trap door, and then it was supposed to say whoosh. Well, unfortunately, the trap door did not open, and she was not able to go down below ground. So the pyrotechnics went off, and she was still there. So yes, she had acquired some burns. Okay, Margaret Hamilton was the actress. Her broom, her hat, and makeup caught on fire. Okay, her face and hands were badly burned. She had second and third degree burns, guys. Medics, oh my gosh, listen to this. This is really bad. You know alcohol burns, right? So the medics had to use alcohol to remove her toxic makeup because the makeup that they used for this movie was full of toxins, and they wanted to make sure that that makeup did not get into her burns. So they had to use alcohol to remove the makeup. Yikes. After returning to work, of course, she was out of work for 2 months. She was asked to film the Surrender Dorothy scene, which also required more smoke and fire, and she refused. So she did have a double. Her double was named Betty Dunko. Okay, and guess what? Even her double suffered a similar injury during the scene, and she was ultimately hospitalized. Wow. So can we say that's kind of like a little curse? I don't know. All right, so the Tin Man, okay? The Tin Man, the actor was Ray Bolger. He insisted that he would make a better scarecrow. The part of the Tin Man was given to Buddy Epson. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It was Buddy Epson. However, an allergic reaction to the aluminum powder. So, yes, the facial makeup was aluminum. And if you know anything about aluminum, guys, it's not good for you. It's toxic to the body. So, if you are making your food on aluminum foil, make sure you get you some parchment paper so you don't have to put your food on there. It is toxic. All right. So in the silver colored makeup, it forced him to be hospitalized in an oxygen tent. Apparently, no one told the cast why Epstein left the production due to the way the studio contracts function at the time. Jack Haley was forced into the role. The production team switched makeup to an aluminum paste, but it caused an eye infection for Haley. Okay, so basically, two actors played the Tin Man, and both of them were hospitalized due to that makeup. All right, so let's get to one of my favorite funny scenes when it snowed, and I think Glinda the Good Witch, she put them to sleep or whatever, poppies or whatever. And when the when the lion or cowardly lion fell out or whatever, his feet was stuck in the air. I thought that was funny. So Dorothy, Toto, and Cowardly Lion fell asleep in Poppy Field, but are magically awakened by gently falling snow. So the falling snow, unfortunately, was asbestos. Yes, so they had to do that scene and they were exposed to asbestos. And the reason why they like the snow or that type of chemical that they use is because it looked like real snow. Aren't you glad things have gotten better over the years? Because now you can just have your computers make it snow. You don't have to do all of that. So asbestos fibers were often used as fake snow from the 30s to the 50s. And they also knew during that time that it was toxic, but they didn't care. They needed to get the movie done. So it wasn't until years later that people discovered the dangers of asbestos, but rumor has it that they knew, but they didn't care. Far too late to help the actors exposed to the carcinogenic snow. So we don't know if any of the actors dealt with any aftermath on that, but all right. So Judy Garland had a sense of humor, right? Yeah. Well, she was doing a scene where she was constantly laughing, okay? And they cut the scene and the director came over to her and slapped her. Yes, slapped her so she would not laugh. Judy Garland supposedly had a giggling fit and was unable to finish the scene without breaking into. She couldn't bring herself to stay serious while slapping a man wearing a lion suit. Mind you, these people were on all kinds of uppers and downers and among other things, so that's probably why she couldn't stop laughing, but okay. And so the director, his name was Victor Fleming, allegedly slapped her to snap her out of it, and she delivered a flawless line delivery on the next take. Yeah. All right. So the Cowardly Lion, that nice little outfit allegedly smelled horrible, and it was made out of real lions. Cowardly Lion actor Bert Lahr's costume was very authentic. So authentic, in fact, it consisted of real lion pelts. It allegedly weighed 90 pounds and produced an offensively unpleasant odor from having a sweaty human trapped in it all day. Lahr remembers spending about 3 hours each day in the makeup chair, as did the Scarecrow and Tin Man. So yeah, these actors were serious to get these scenes. Okay, so we all know Judy Garland was not really a teenager or a little girl during this movie. She was a grown woman, and they wanted her to maintain that little girl look. So originally the producers wanted Shirley Temple to play Dorothy, but contract issues and doubts about her singing ability led them to offer the role to the next best girl, Judy Garland. She was asked to lose about 12 pounds so she would more closely resemble a 12-year-old. Okay, so she was really 17. Garland was forced to follow a strict diet, which included smoking cigs and wearing a painful corset to flatten her chest. Dorothy's look at the start of the filming included blonde hair and a feminine makeup. But filmmaker George decided that she should look younger and less fantastic than the Technicolor world she was about to enter. So they forced her to really she could only eat lettuce and broth. And even if she went and she tried to order something else, they would bring lettuce and broth out to her anyway. They didn't want her to eat. So basically, she starved to play this role. Okay, so Margaret Hamilton, that's the witch. In addition to being highly flammable, the Wicked Witch's green makeup was also toxic. Margaret Hamilton's accidentally swallowed some and was unable to eat for days. Her skin was also stayed green for several weeks due to the copper in the makeup. So, wow. Hamilton and the Tin Man weren't the only characters with makeup woes. However, the prosthetic scarecrow mask Ray Bolger wore left imprints on his face. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, even Toto got a little bit of issues during the filming. Toto was played by a female terrier named Terry. During filming, one of the Wicked Witch's Winky guards accidentally stepped on Terry, the dog, Toto, and broke her paw. Terry had to be replaced for the next 4 weeks of filming. Despite her injury, it was said that Toto received a higher paycheck for her owner than many of the Munchkin actors. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that. Oh gosh. So the dog's owner got more money than the actual humans, who played. All right, so the studio lighting, because it's lights, camera, action, guys, brought the temperatures on set to over 100 degrees. Technicolor became popular in the 1930s as it allowed colors to appear vivid and highly saturated. However, it also required very bright lighting for filming. Okay, so the intense lighting setup caused temperatures in the studios to go above 100 degrees, and there were issues with carbon dioxide buildup. So yeah, the lights were toxic. The heat also was toxic. Okay. So the Winkies and the Monkeys wore heavy costumes and struggled in the heat. Some allegedly came close to heat stroke. So it's safe to say that a few of those actors passed out because 100 degrees plus having to perform, having these big, huge costumes, all is a, that's a recipe for disaster. Okay, so they're saying that some of the Wicked Witch scenes were cut. The original look at the Wicked Witch was kind of sultry, but producers decided evil should translate to being not so appealing on the eye. Okay? Because she exclusively wanted to play beautiful roles, her replacement, Margaret Hamilton, was very good at being that kind of like ugly scary. So good, in fact, that many of her scenes had to be cut for being too scary, and she wound up appearing in less than 20 minutes of the whole film. I noticed that. Yeah, she reprised her role in 76 episodes of Sesame Street, but was also considered too scary, even away from the Land of Oz. The episode aired once and was subsequently banned. Okay, so that magical horse, when they were in Oz and everything, oh, that's a horse of a different color. Well, that horse was actually smeared with a whole bunch of Jell-O. Yes, so the redness of that horse was from Jell-O. So they sponged him down with a gelatin powder in between shots. The horse apparently liked the flavor and would try to lick the powder. If you watch the scene closely, you can actually see the cart driver visibly trying to keep the colorful horse from licking itself. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I thought that would be fun to know those little facts. So because you're going to watch that movie again, you'll have this in the back of your mind that those actors went through something to give us this great production called The Wizard of Oz. So thanks for listening. Make sure you thumbs up the video, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next video.